Wally here, and I hope you're having a good day, because today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite Nintendo games of all time, and it is Picross 3D for the Nintendo DS, not the Nintendo 3DS, although there is a sequel to this fantabulous Picross puzzle game. This is the game that got me into the Picross series. It is a grid puzzle number game, and it's awesome. I play it daily now on the Nintendo Switch, but if we rewind time, go back 10 years ago, I'm going to tell you all about my story with Picross 3D in this video, so let's go ahead and do that. In 2010, I was hearing about the Nintendo 3DS, and I wanted to upgrade my DS Lite, my Nintendo DS Lite, to something more current, but the 3DS wasn't out yet. So I decided to buy the Nintendo DS XL, this thing right here, and I wanted something to play on that system to kind of make it seem like a new system in my mind. I always like doing that, buying a video game, whether it's new or old, to play on a new platform. So I was just looking around trying to figure out what do I want to play on, and I downloaded a few games through the DSi shop, but I wanted something to insert into that cartridge slot. And I was looking around and saw this weird looking grid number game, and I always like puzzles of all sorts of kinds, crosswords, word search. But the 2D form of this didn't really call to my attention back then. I was like, okay, well, that looks interesting, but nah, no thanks. But then when I saw Picross 3D, it just blew my mind. Like, this spoke to me, this 3D puzzle game where there's numbers and you have to eliminate some of the blocks while keeping other ones. And it's a very simple pick up and play where you're utilizing the touch screen and you're destroying different blocks based on the numbers you see and keeping other ones. And there's even more advanced rules, and there's hundreds of puzzles, and there's even an ability to create your own puzzles. I'm like, sign me up for all of this. And I got signed up indeed, to the point where I dragged my spouse in. I'm like, hey, you're gonna like this. And she did, to the point where she kind of commandeered my DSi XL for long periods of time and sent me back to the DS Lite. So my whole upgrading path of the DS was curbed for a moment, thanks to love and family. But she really enjoyed it, to the point we had to pick up 2 copies of this, and we were kind of competing back and forth. Who can complete all the puzzles faster? Who can complete all them with the perfect rating of 3 stars each? Because each puzzle in this game is rated 1 to 3 stars based on, can you complete it in the allotted time? Can you not make a mistake? And so forth. There's also a really cool gallery mode that, because what Picross is all about, I should rewind before I talk about the gallery mode. Picross is really cool, but it's a picture crossword puzzle, and this is a 3D version of that, in which when you finish the puzzle, when you finish breaking these cubes, it's going to create a picture, or in this game, since it's 3D, it's going to create a 3D item, whether it's a dog, or an axe, or a letter, or a number, or what have you. And by the end of that, you can go and check out the gallery and see all of the items that you've unlocked. So it's pretty cool. And thanks to doing this collection video, I just realized that HAL Laboratory created this, which kind of blew my mind. This HAL's logo right there. HAL is best known for their doing Kirby games. They are one of the main developers of the Kirby series, going back years. They did a bunch of different things on the Nintendo 64, including Pokemon games, and they've always been around, a staple to Nintendo's house of developers, and they knocked it out of the park in this game. This was a blast to play for years and years and years, like I mentioned with my spouse. This is the game that turned me onto the Picross series. If you checked out the games that I play daily on Nintendo Switch, that video I'll leave in the description, you will see that I do play Picross S on the Switch, and that's all because of this. It made me fall in love with Picross in general, and I did end up falling in love with the 2D variant as well as this 3D. There is a sequel for the Nintendo 3DS of Picross 3D, and I still want to play that. I still want to get it. I still have my 3DS, next to my bed, so probably I will download that pretty soon, if not in the near future. But Picross 3D is everything I want in a puzzle game. It's really awesome. If you haven't tried the Picross series, I recommend, let's see, this one you might be able to still pick up, but if you can't, just grab a 3DS and download Picross 3D. I don't know if it's called Picross 3D 2, but that should be on there. If you have a Nintendo Switch, there's no 3D variant that I'm aware of. Let me know in the comments if there is. but there are tons of Picross 2D, which is just as fun if you just allow yourself to get into the Picross craze. So this is Picross 3D. Love it. Great part of my collection. It's memories, nostalgic memories from the 2010 to 2012-13 era. And I would not, what was I saying? I would loved to go back in time and replay this game for the first time over again. It's just that good. It's just so many good memories playing with my spouse in that era. Let me know in the comments if you ever played Picross 3D, the Picross series, what your familiarity of this series is. I would love to hear all about it. As always, thanks for joining the party. Thanks for listening to me ramble, and I'll see you in the next collection video.